A bombshell came from the Ducati garage. Ahead of the Austrian Grand Prix, Marc Márquez made a shocking announcement that immediately shook the paddock and stunned many. This wasn't just any news, it was a statement that could change the course of the 2025 MotoGP season. What exactly did Márquez say, and why was everyone so shocked? Let's discuss it. The 2025 MotoGP season is witnessing a once-in-a-generation chapter in history. Absolute dominance, a champion's mentality, and a fundamental change in the riders' character come together to tell a rare story, the rise of Marc Márquez as the best version of himself yet. With a calm but confident voice, Márquez finally uttered the words that silenced the entire paddock. "I'm approaching these last 10 races with the mindset that I'm the only one who can lose this championship." It wasn't just confidence. It was an honest admission that the World Championship was already in his grasp, even before the season reached its final stages at 32 years old. Riding a Ducati for the first time, Marc Márquez has achieved a feat that surpasses even his glory days with Repsol Honda. No one expected him to adapt to the Desmosedici GP25 this quickly and powerfully. By the middle of the season, his record had truly shaken the MotoGP world. He had 8 outright wins, 11 sprint victories, and 5 consecutive double wins at legendary circuits like Aragon, Mugello, Assen, Sachsenring, and Brno, with a 100 lead over his closest rival, and having won 79.1% of the total races. Márquez had created an almost insurmountable lead. However, it wasn't just his statistics that astonished the world. It was how he achieved them. This wasn't the Márquez of old, no longer the reckless rider synonymous with crazy stunts, brutal maneuvers, and high risks. This was a new version of Márquez, Malhart surgical, calculating, cool under pressure, and far more lethal. He wasn't just conquering the track, he was also destroying any doubts that had ever been leveled at him. When Ducati officially signed Márquez, many considered it a panic move. Didn't they already have 2 elite riders? Jorge Martin had just won the world title, and Pecco had been champion for 2 consecutive seasons. Ducati had just finished the 2024 season with 16 wins in 20 races. However, Ducati saw something deeper. The Desmosedici GP25 had reached a point of stagnation. Gigi Dall'Igna realized there'd be no meaningful progress without a rider who could take the bike in a new direction. That's where Márquez's role came in. Not just to win, but also to reshape Ducati's technical direction. Once a vocal critic of Ducati for neglecting their native talent, Carlo Pernot now admits defeat. "I used to be very critical, but now I have to admit they were right." Márquez is the answer to all the questions. One of the most frightening aspects of Márquez's strategy isn't just his speed, but also his ability to psychologically destroy his opponents before the race even starts. He admitted that his strategy isn't just to pass opponents, but to make them feel defeated during practice. He didn't learn that from press conferences or microphones. It comes from being at the forefront consistently. From free practice on, this mentality has shaken the paddock. Even Pecco Bagnaia, once virtually untouchable, now appears confused and isolated within the team he was supposed to lead. Meanwhile, his younger brother, Alex Marquez, has risen. Building on the foundation of hard work and organization that Marc established during his time with Gresini, despite riding the 2024 version of the bike, Alex now sits second in the standings. Gresini's sporting director, Michele Massini, revealed that Marc transformed the entire team's work culture in just 1 season. For years, Marc Márquez was often labeled a rider who relied solely on racing instinct, not a technical prodigy capable of in-depth motorcycle development. However, the 2025 season has put those doubts to rest. This year has revealed another side of Marquez Malha, a technical genius capable of reading, sensing, and guiding motorcycle development with precision. Some of the biggest names in MotoGP engineering are also starting to speak out. Santi Hernandez, Frankie Carchetti, and Marco Regamonti, 3 of the top engineers in the paddock, agree that Márquez is an extraordinary technical rider who has worked with numerous world champions, openly admitted that working with Márquez gave him an unprecedented leap in knowledge. Márquez is not only fast, but he can also analyze and translate his feelings from the bike into technical language, which is useful for team development. Impressively, Marquez still has to deal with physical limitations due to a serious right arm injury he sustained in 2020. Right-hand turns remain challenging for him, yet he has dominated this season. Marco Rigamonte stated, if he can regain full function of his right arm, he will be unbeatable. Marc Márquez isn't just about winning race after race or securing the World Championship. He is also taking on a leadership role during MotoGP's major transition period in 2027. While most riders focus on current performance, Marquez is thinking about the future. MotoGP will undergo radical changes. Engine capacity will be reduced to 850cc. Ride height devices, long a technical advantage, will be eliminated. Aerodynamic devices will be banned entirely, and fuel will shift to a sustainable formula to promote a more environmentally friendly future. Amidst the massive upheaval that awaits, Marquez is ready and leading the way. This is a major reset in MotoGP, and Ducati knows that Marc Márquez is the only rider who can carry them through it. Ducati CEO Claudio Domenicali has stated that they want to keep Marquez on the team until he retires. Impressively, Marquez isn't demanding a high salary. He simply said, "You determine the numbers. I just want to win." Ironically, Ducati signed him to prevent him from winning with another team. Now, however, they are building their future entirely on his shoulders. While Marquez continues to dominate, Pecco Bagnaia's performance is declining. The reigning champion is reportedly uncomfortable with the direction of the GP25 bike's development, which now adopts Marquez's signature riding style. Complaints about a lack of feeling on the front end of the bike are increasingly coming from Bagnaia's camp. This situation has sparked speculation in the MotoGP paddock. Rumors suggest that Yamaha is interested in Pecco, while Ducati is exploring its options for a replacement. Fabio Di Giannantonio is a strong candidate for the factory seat, followed by Fermín Aldeguer and Alex Marquez, who is also being considered. As a Ducati rider, Jorge Lorenzo has openly stated that Alex Marquez deserves the factory Ducati team seat. Marc Márquez is no longer a mad genius who relies solely on sharp reflexes and luck. He has evolved into a much more mature and dangerous rider. He is now a shrewd planner, a clinical executor, a strong team leader, and a mentally and strategically mature rider. When asked if he's still the same as before, Marquez simply laughs and replies, "I'm a little calmer now. I think more clearly, but only a little." Marc Márquez has already decided which race will be his crowning moment. He has planned when to attack, when to hold back, and when to overtake in order to put pressure on his rivals. He doesn't just want to win, he wants to win by a large margin. With strategy, he wants to dominate his rivals psychologically. Does Marquez deserve to be called the most complete rider in modern MotoGP history? Let us know what you think.